So we're at the ending of the Geneva Blockchain Conference, and we had a fantastic panel here about real-time examples. And I really enjoyed Bid'ah Ibdah from Oracle, from Jordan. My name is horrible what I did. But how inspired are the people inside Oracle about the blockchain, and what kind of role does it fulfill in your system?
Yes. So yeah, blockchain is one of the, I would say, emerging technologies that we put a lot of focus on, and it even influences the converged features of our flagship product, right? The Oracle database. So the latest release of the Oracle database, we have even introduced blockchain tables in the database. So in some cases, you need some of the, I would say, benefits of blockchain, but without having to implement a blockchain, actually a distributed ledger for that case. So in these cases,
you have like write once capabilities.
It's immutable. We have the same structure, let's say, of the blockchain, but stored in a table, right? So it's immutable. You have provenance, etc. And on the other side, we also have a blockchain platform, which is basically a PaaS, part of our PaaS offering, and it's based on the Hyperledger technology, right? Hyperledger Fabric. So yeah, and what we try to do is that we try to bring an ecosystem that can support the implementations of blockchain, but not as a silo, right? So one of the opportunities that can be created with blockchain when you combine it to other data sources is that you can integrate it even, let's say, with a data warehouse, like autonomous data warehouse, and you can understand and analyze what happened inside the blockchain in a very nice self-service point of view.
What do you mean by inside the blockchain? Because the blockchain is small. You can be, I mean, you laugh about the amount of bytes you can basically put in there, even though you have private ones which are bigger. I mean, what do you exactly, give me an example of what Oracle has participated in, and how the big data of Oracle and the authentication data or something from has worked together.
Let's take, for example, let's say if you implement blockchain for a financial use case, right? Let's talk, let's say, cross-border payment system. So all the payments, rather than going through intermediaries, they go through the Hyperledger Fabric. So let's say after a few months of running the implementation, you end up, let's say, with, I don't know, a couple of million transactions. You want to understand basically how the transactions went. You want to analyze how the processes went, what is the amount of benefit that you get out of it in a self-service analytical point of view, right? So you can easily extend the blockchain ecosystem, have a copy of these transactions, of the transactions that happened between the banks, stored in an autonomous database, and then you can analyze it on the go, right? And you can give access to business users so they can...
So you make a copy of it in the traditional database and then do all kinds of fast searches and that kind of stuff. But the role of the transaction just happens in Hyperledger.
Absolutely, it happens in Hyperledger basically, because the main purpose to have a Hyperledger, right, is to enable trust. That's one point. Remove intermediaries that you can benefit from, so we can lower the cost of the implementation. Also, you can increase the profit margin. And, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's nothing to do with storing the essential transaction in blockchain, and all the other data you need for that. The delivery data or the documents or the verification. It's more signature kind of blockchain.
Absolutely. The reason why we have a distributed ledger in the first place is just to store the transactions, right? Because first of all, you wouldn't go and, for example, store the original document inside a blockchain. It's not designed to do so. You only want to store the value of that document. Then this is basically what Internet of Value means, right? So blockchain is the mean to enable this Internet of Value to exchange this value between multiple parties that form the blockchain organization.
Okay. So we've had the hype of the blockchain. It solves all the problems. It can do everything. Now we know we need a database and all these kind of things. We've come down to earth. There's now the delusion period, according to Gartner. What do you see yourself inside clients are participating, are giving blockchain a role in their project?
So there are actually quite a good number of clients that are using it. I'm not allowed to say the exact number. However, we have very nice public references for blockchain, like going back to the same example of, let's say, the cross-border payment system. We have a bank in Jordan that's actually implemented the cross-border payment system between multiple branches inside Jordan and outside Jordan. So that's one case. And earlier this morning, I believe Marta was mentioning another reference, another use case that was for circular, which actually included mining the tantalum from Rwanda. So this was also used the Oracle blockchain platform that's based on the Hyperledger Fabric. So these are actually two good...
That was basically to do track and trace of boxes of iron, of mining hurts.
Absolutely, yeah. Because when you have, let's say, supply chain, you want to move it to a digital supply chain, right? You want to automate the process where you guarantee that when you move the dangerous goods, right, you want to make sure that it doesn't affect the overall operation of producing the output of these minerals.
Okay. So is it accelerating the practical implementation of projects, and is going more into production? The hype is over, the proof of concepts are more over. It's going more into production?
Absolutely. We've seen more projects coming live. And they're even, let's say, taking it into phase 2 and phase 3, even to expand it more into more use cases.
Has that changed the atmosphere inside Oracle? Did it make you more open and more flexible and not wanting to do it all, but working more smoothly together, or has it always been your fabric?
No, but so in Oracle we're always open, right? So what we try to do is that we try to capture the ecosystem that we have inside Oracle, right? And we work as, let's say, one global team to support the implementations and have more references, more stick wins that can support us in our cloud journey.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.